Hi there, Lee Farnell. This is Leading Your Best Life. And today I want to talk to you about something super important in business if you want to grow and scale your business. And that is the recruiting of sales superstars, the recruiting of rainmakers. Here are some wonderful tips. Here we go. Thanks for coming back. Now, look, this has come about because, one, I was just talking to my recruiting superstar client this morning who's a superstar at recruiting A-grade players, A-grade managers, A-grade salespeople, A-grade team leaders for organisations. You know, we see it time and time again where people use crappy recruiting processes that are like Swiss cheese, where they want person A, they want an A-grade player, they want to pay them as a B grader or a C grader, but then their recruiting process is so imprecise, so non-scientific, they end up with someone. In fact, one of my clients just yesterday lost another person. Why? Because they were what I would consider to be loose in the recruiting process. You know, all the good intentions, but didn't ask the right questions, or the person wasn't so obvious or honest in the interview. But I want to talk to you here particularly about salespeople, because I'm fired up because just yesterday I met with a salesperson I would call a superstar. This person told me some of the numbers they were doing. The moment that they were put into a management role, the numbers for the company went down because this person was the number one rainmaker. Which, by the way, is a major mistake that so many chief execs make. Let's take our best salesperson and make them a manager. What they don't realise is the personality profile of a top salesperson is not the personality profile of a top manager. They are two different beasts. And you go, well, can't they just learn to do that? Yeah, sure. You can try and make a square peg fit into a round hole, bash it enough and it'll go in, but you won't get the result. And not only that, you lose a top salesperson. And what we know is normally the company has not extracted the subtleties or even the main playbook of the top salesperson. We call it CBP, collective best practice. Collect the best practice. What the hell's going on that makes that top salesperson so good, which is what we do when we create a sales playbook. There's a whole process we use, which we did a fantastic job across 13 countries across Asia. When we showed them in Europe, they went, what the hell? Why hasn't London told us about this? This book is fantastic. It becomes a template for scaling the business. But that's a different thing. That's the sales playbook. Here I'm talking about, one, extracting what the hell's going on in the mind and what they do in terms of lead generation, rapport, questioning, proposals, closing, persistence, etc., etc. And this person I was speaking to yesterday, because I'm fascinated, because what we know from the Harvard Business Review, a Greenberg and Mayer paper, is the high-performing salesperson has what they call ego drive and empathy, the two E's. An ego drive is desire to compete, desire to hang in there. So one of the great predictors, and this is just one question that we use in our recruiting process, is tell me about your competitive background. What sports did you play? Where did you compete? And invariably, this person yesterday, well, I played football, I played rugby, I played, what else was it? I think swimming. And you ask them, are you competitive? And you can see them light up. You actually see them light up when you ask the word, would you describe yourself as competitive? Or tell me about a time you were competitive. Or tell me about a time you were put in a competitive situation, or you activated your competitive spirit. I say to people, you know, I don't think I'm competitive until someone is trying to compete with me. And all of a sudden I find all this extra drive, all this extra energy, and that's the competitive drive. But this person yesterday, not only did they have the competitive drive beautifully, but they also said, I'm a self-development junkie. I just love learning things to help me be better. Well, there's another factor you want to be looking for. Competitive drive, self-development junkie. Also, are they likable? What energy is coming across the table at you when you're talking to them? How do they present, by the way? Can they dress at least half okay? Or are they sloppy? Because again, attention to detail in dress, attention to detail in contracts, attention to detail in customer service, all those things go hand in hand. But in particular is the question of, in sales in particular, what's your response to the word no when someone says no to you? And again, the high-performing salesperson will give you a whole range of answers. As I had Brian, one of the high performers from my mate James's company, said, no, I don't even hear the first 30 no's. The top salesperson at the soft drink company we did work with years ago said, they're saying no to me, I don't even hear it. Versus, I know in my case, my mother drummed it into me. When I say no, I mean it. If you believe that, no just means I don't know enough about your product yet. No, I can't picture myself using it right now. But in this case, this superstar said to me, no to me is just not yet. No to me is just not yet. I went, wow. Now that's not just a set of words. That is a whole belief system. That is a whole layer upon layer of internal languaging around what drives a top performer, and the whole idea of persisting and handling and adapting to objections and adapting to the word no. Now, these are just some things you need to be using systematically in your recruiting of top salespeople. Now, we've got way more than this that we use in our PDC systems for recruiting. It's just beautiful to watch. And of course, how many times have you seen it where you've recruited a salesperson, you've spent 6 months or 12 months investing in them, giving them time, and they haven't delivered? Not because they're useless or there's something inherently wrong with them. No, they just don't have the basic prerequisites. As Mayer and Greenberg say in their article, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. If they don't have the personality. Now, you can try it, you can get a little bit of improvement, but the number one predictor of high-performing sales teams is getting the selection, the induction, the onboarding, and then the management and the incentivization right. But it all starts with recruitment. If you want to find out more, do touch base. Stop wasting time with B and C grade players when you should be recruiting A grade players, not only in management and leadership positions, but in sales positions as well. Want to find out more? Do touch base with us. We love helping companies who know the benefits of investing in their sales team. I'm Lee Farnell. You've been listening to Leading Your Best Life. I'll see you next time.